I discovered Jesus was the truth when I was about 10 years old at a revival event in Hayward, California, led by a fiery, tongue-speaking 15-year-old girl. 8 years later, after moving to Stockton, California, and not finding a new home church for years, I had a phone conversation with a random guy that I met at a bus stop who shared his belief that the Bible is a mythological book full of falsehoods, and I decided to believe him. So from age 18 through 22, I wandered and flailed about in the wilderness, knowing Jesus was the truth, but not much else. I dabbled in studying with Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses. I invested in astrology. I visited a Catholic church. I went around from man to man looking for acceptance, love, and commitment. And I was blindly idolizing the power of being an object of sexual desire. Inevitably, this made me unable to enforce boundaries at times because I allowed so much of my identity and value to be attached to people's approval and desire of me. I had allowed my body, soul, and spirit to be misused to the point where my sense of dignity and purpose was eroded. Then on the night of October 20th, 2011, 2 months after moving from Stockton to attend theater school in the Central Coast, I claimed celibacy. And the following night, I went through a rather intense experience. I had an unplanned, drug-induced encounter with spirits that don't like God and didn't like me, aka the demonic realm, which was crazy and terrifying. Before then, I had only conceptualized the idea that Jesus died to save us, but I didn't truly know what that meant until that night, where in the midst of this intense moment of darkness, I called on Jesus, heard a stern voice count to 3, and all at once the tormenting laughter, imagery, and whispers stopped in an instant. I felt as literally saved as if I was a drowning child and an adult just lifted me out of the water with ease and complete control. It was then that it hit me that Jesus died, that he gave up his life to do this for all of us, for all of our spirits, all of our souls. This is why he's called Savior. From that night on, Jesus immediately started me on a journey of purification and sanctification while restoring my trust in the Word. And throughout this journey, he's illuminated generational curses, inherited trauma, soul ties, personal idols, false identities, doubts that puncture my faith, thoughts infected by pride, and behaviors that reflect the world. And all these parts of me, he's forgiven and faded as they're lifted to his light. And then he paints me new portraits with his word, right? And I get to study and marvel at these images of love, wisdom, favor, truth, joy, and new identities. And then I get to hang these images in my temple, and through them, the beauty, purity, and strength of my temple is redeemed. Hopefully that metaphor makes sense. But to put it very simply, knowing who Jesus is and what he did on the cross has completely transformed my heart and life. I'm just like the Samaritan woman, too, who Jesus welcomed into conversation, confronted with his knowledge of her sin, and then invited her to drink his living water. I love him with all my heart, owe him everything I have, and am delighted to take another step in his direction. So thank you for allowing me to share with you.